Stop chasing the perfect plan. It does not exist. Success comes from repeating the basics until they stick. This is the last series in the Back on Track where I talk about how changing your life can start with your body, can start with the way that you physically see yourself. So in this video, we're gonna finish this out strong. So let's get right into it. If you're just joining us, I did 4 videos titled Back on Track where we talk about building your dream body to support your dream life. Dream body isn't just stick figures. It's what's healthy for you, what you're fueling yourself, that's applying yourself to your dream life that you may not even realize. So if you haven't, I would recommend, I'll put them in the description below, videos 1 through 4, to really keep you on track if this is the first video that you're starting from. However, you already know what works. The real work is repeating it when it's boring. The people with results didn't do more, they just did it longer. That is the difference between truly seeing something different and wanting something different. Hear me now when I say this. Everyone is doing the same thing you're doing, they're just doing it longer. And it doesn't mean do it longer till you are fatigued, but it's really asking yourself, did I do the best I could do today? Or did I just show up when I knew that I could push myself harder? It's tough because sometimes I feel like we think, am I doing too much for myself? Is this like, I just don't know. But really think about it. Could you have walked 5 minutes more on that treadmill? Could you have chose the fruit over the Popeyes? The small decisions you make turn into the big results you see in your life. Someone out there wants to have a bread bowl, a pasta plate. However, they know if they continue eating God's food, the fruits, the vegetables, the proteins, drinking water, daily movement, they're gonna continue seeing the result they want for their life. It may not be what they wanna do, but they know if they do it longer, having longevity, it is going to reap the benefit. If it worked before and it was just hard in your head, it worked. You just need to redo it. You need to do the same thing again. You don't need a new plan, you just need to repeat the same one. That way you go a step higher or you go a couple minutes further. Like it's 1% better every single day. So I've talked about this a couple times, but motivation is not reliable. Routines are. If it's hard to start, all you need to do is create a non-negotiables list. Bare minimum is what I'm talking about. Water, walk, protein. If you start with nothing else, let's start there. You know you want to drink at least 3 little hydro flask jugs a day. Maybe you can't get to a gallon. To start, you want to make sure that you are refilling it at least twice throughout the day. Walking. You may not want to go to the gym. You may not have a gym membership. You can walk around your house. It may look stupid. It may feel weird, but it's worth it. Find places to walk. Maybe your job has a place where you can take a lunch break and walk, or maybe you can walk to your favorite coffee shop if it's close by. Those are ways to implement these things in. Protein. I might make some eggs in the morning. Okay. I might make some steak and rice for lunch. Okay. I might drink a protein smoothie. Okay. Like there are things you can do to make it and feed it into your day naturally so it doesn't feel like you're being thrown off from what you know, till eventually it shifts into what you want it to be, until your new routine lifestyle. The goal is to stay in motion, not be perfect. You need to ask yourself every single day, what would the best version of me do today, even at 50%? If your 100% today is only 50% max, that's your 100%. Tomorrow it'll be 80%. The next day it might be 100%. The next day it might be 12%. Ask yourself that question every single day and wait till you start seeing those results show up. Your halfway effort adds up when you're consistent. I know we talk a lot about seeing like starting and then seeing the result. In content creation and social media and people's journeys and lives that we meet and then tell us their stories, it sounds like that. But you have to remember that they are giving us the highlight reel. I'm giving you the highlight reel on my social media. I'm showing you what I want you to see because there are parts of my life where it makes more sense for me to do the dirty work, to grind through it, to truly choose my hard, knowing that that is hard for me. But if I keep showing up, I'm gonna eventually want to keep doing it. So right now I know I need to do it, but eventually I'm going to feel like I want to do it. And that's the part that I talk through, but I don't show. When it gets to a point when I start showing it and talking about it, that's when you know, oh, I've elevated. That could be the same situation for you. A lot of things are built in the boring. If you think it's gonna look the way you're experiencing Instagram Reels or TikToks, it doesn't. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, we set up the tripod, we film our thing, and we chop it up so that time moves effortlessly. It's like a TV show. Like, it's funny because I'm starting to see comments where people are like, everyone shut up, my show is on. And I love that. I think that's like honestly the biggest compliment ever. However, you have to think about people's lives like a TV show. They're showing you their favorite episodes. They're not showing you the behind the scenes. They're not showing you action, cut, retake. Like, you have to really think about life in terms that make you understand it better. So for me, I like TV, movies, content. I'm gonna think about life in that way so that I can have a better understanding to when things get challenging or tough or not, that helpful. Maybe I can start viewing it from a lens that I do understand so that I can kind of take a step back and then understand it's just boring right now. This is a filler episode is what I like to call it. This is character development. This is the plot twist. That helps when you're trying to change your lifestyle. So whatever that looks like for you, find it and implement it and see if that changes things. And lastly, if your journey feels exhausting, it's not that you're doing something wrong. You're just doing it in a way that doesn't make you feel aligned with your life. Hustle culture ruins health goals. I'm serious. That is something that I stand on sometimes because it makes you feel like you always have to be moving and working and you have to show up consistently, but not at the same energy, the same pace every day. It needs to be a healthy journey. You're not gonna go to the gym on Monday, see 50 pounds down on Friday. You don't need punishment, you need a rhythm. So the same way that you start bopping your head to a song and you're like, wow, I'm really loving this. You need to find that same rhythm for your life. Oh wow, okay, I find myself most productive from the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. All right, what can I do there? Can I ideate there? Can I plan the content? Can I write the business plan there? Knowing that's my best hours of the day. Then I go to my good hours of the day, which are 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Right before lunch, I feel productive, but I'm not at the peak, at the highest of my creativity. Those are the moments where you do the task where it's like, oh, this would be hard at 3 p.m. You do those tasks first. Then you've got your 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. hour. Take a little 30-minute hour reset, figure out what you want to start focusing on in the afternoon. Time blocking. I've talked about this before, and if you're not familiar, check out this video. The 12 to 3 p.m. hour, that's when you need to take a little 30-minute, 45-minute reset, have lunch, eat it out in nature, think about nothing. Don't even think about what you need to do next. After you start wrapping up your lunch, you need to start thinking, okay, what do I want my afternoon to look like? I know that this is the part where it gets a little bland and boring, but do I like maybe going to the gym when maybe the hours between 12 and 3, it's the quietest, so I don't have to worry about a lot of people around? Or do I want to work on my business plan, looking at doing some research? So going on social media, going on YouTube, seeing what people are doing in my field, how I'd like to implement that, think and build off of that. So you're not truly doing a high lift task where you're physically creating it or talking to people, but you're viewing, you're consuming it. And then from your 4 to 6 p.m. hour where you're starting to wind down for the day, what will tomorrow look like? So maybe plan for tomorrow. Think about all the things you did today, where those secondary items need to come in. So say for example, you created a spreadsheet. Tomorrow it may look like plan what quarter one will look like for this business, or plan what the next week will look like with this content. That's your low lifts in the 4 to 6 p.m. hour. And then come 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., rest, relax. You had a full day. You used your brain, you physically moved your body. God willing, you networked with people, so you took on other people's energy and you gave people energy. That's a moment where it's best to recenter and honestly, to me, get in the word of God. Pray. Thank him truly for the day that you had, for the productivity you had, for maybe the energy you missed from people maybe you didn't want to see. All of it matters. Find a show, read a book, listen to a podcast, this podcast. And truly think, wow, today was great. Reflect, journal 3 things you're grateful for, and make sure that you're set up for success tomorrow. Consistency will always beat burnout. Even if you show up every single day and it's only 30% for a season of your life, you are much closer than if you wouldn't have showed up because you just thought about doing it. So think about that next time you're wanting to find yourself in a new headspace, in a new area of life. Know that I just need to show up a little bit today. And then there are gonna be some days where a little isn't enough and you want to show up a lot, but it'll ebb and flow, similar to a roller coaster. So you got to be kind to yourself and understand where you're at in life, what season you're in, and how you want yourself to look this time next year. Find your why, because if you don't, it'll be very easy when the motivation runs out and the discipline isn't built to just find yourself starting over and over again, to a point where you think, is the life I want really the life I want? And the answer is yes, but you just have to stay consistent. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this series. This has been something that I wanted to try, to do something new, to see, is this something that I want to do, every quarter, where I have a 5-part series. Today we talked about fitness. In the last few weeks, we talked about fitness and just how that dream life will play into the body, the way that you see yourself. So that's why we wanted to fix the internal and the external, or at least think about it, plant the seed. And then as time goes on, you'll want to do more with it. That I know. When you have the conversation about it, your brain subconsciously is going to be thinking about, how can I make myself better? How can I rely on God more in moments where I don't have the strength? How can I continue to show up despite the circumstance? So I hope that this really helped out. I'm excited to just get back on track. Didn't even plan that, but I'm excited to get back on track and talk more about how we continue building our dream life, how we continue showing up for what we want. And I want to be interested in kind of the topics that you guys are interested in as well. So let me know in the comments below what you liked. And if you stayed until this long in the video, leave this emoji so I know that you're a real one. And I really want you to start thinking about how you want to see your life differently. Ask yourself, what does me look like this time next year? What am I wearing? Who am I with? What am I doing? What am I eating? What am I experiencing? What does my week look like? You have to be so granular in that life that it's already on the way. You're prepping for it. Future you is just waiting for you to show up. So I hope that this gave you a little bit more insight and perspective into how we can start really building towards that dream life through our body, keeping things healthy and keeping things aligned. So until further notice, I will see you guys on the next episode of Party of One Podcast. Peace.